Kosakura, you made it. It's good to see we didn't scare you off.
It would take a lot more than what I saw yesterday to scare me off. Besides, this isn't my normal thing, but I said I'm in, so I'm in. I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone is already hanging out.
I'm so glad you came back. I know it's a big commitment, just diving right into literature this way.
I don't buy it. Satori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year, or last year either. I don't know what your game is coming here, but if you don't take this seriously, I'm gonna be so mad at you!
Take this club seriously? What's that box you keep in the clubroom's closet, manga boy?
Manga is literature!
Quieted for now, Naruki flops back into his seat.
Oh, don't worry, you guys. Kosakura always goes the whole 9 when she's enjoying herself. She even helps me with stuff at home, even without me asking. Cooking, cleaning my room.
Really now?
That's because your room is so messy it's distracting. Also, you almost set your house on fire once.
That's... I don't remember that.
You two seem awfully close. I'm a little jealous.
Why? You and Kosakura can get awfully close too. How great would that be?
Oh,
Satori... How great would that be? Except as usual, Satori languishes in his internal sunbeams, completely oblivious to the awkward situation he just put me in.
Oh, Yuki even bought you a present.
Oh, wait, Satori.
I'm glad to see it's not just me, but a present? You brought me a present?
It's not that big a deal, really. Just something
Come on, don't be shy. She'll love it. Who doesn't love presents?
What is it?
Never mind. It's weird now. Satori built it up and made it a thing. It's not meant to be a thing, but now it's a thing, and...
Man, I'm sorry, Yuki. I should have let you get to it in your own time.
Not helping.
Hey, Yuki. Don't worry about it, okay?
Huh?
Yeah. You don't have to give me anything. I wasn't expecting anything, so if you do, I'll be very surprised and probably like it a lot.
But...
And if you don't want it to be a big deal, it won't be. I promise.
Well, okay. Remember, you promised.
He brings out a book from his bag and passes it over to me. The Thief of Always. Clive Barker.
I didn't want you to feel left out. And it's shorter, so it's not overwhelming if you're not an avid reader just yet. And I thought, you know...
It's great. Thank you. I'll definitely read this.
No pressure. Hit it at your own pace, and be sure to let me know what you thought of it.
With everyone settled in now, I expected Monaco to kick off some scheduled activity for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Satori and Monaco are having an animated chat-off in one corner. Yuki's face is already buried in a book. And Naruki's rummaging around in the closet. I want to talk to Yuki some more, but he seems pretty focused. The cover of his book shows a big house at the top of a hill that has a giant creepy face set into it, with a billowing cloud in the background. It's actually different from the art on my copy, but the title is still the same. The Thief of Always.
Huh? Yes.
Mine looks different. It has a guy in the hat and the kid on the front.
There are numerous different editions. On top of being one of the best horror and fantasy authors of all time, he is also an accomplished visual artist. I don't know for certain, but he may very well have drawn all the different covers himself. Each is a treasure.
You really like him, don't you?
A current favorite.
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Think nothing of it. Were I totally focused, I likely wouldn't have even heard you. I was just in the mood for a bit of light reading. Rereading, really. Not for any particular reason.
Yeah. So, why do you have 2 copies of the same book?
Well, when I was at the bookstore yesterday, that is, I saw that. I thought that maybe.
His face darkens in a blush and he squirms a little in his seat.
And so I just happened to buy 2 of them, that's all.
Uh-huh. There's something fairly obvious that Yuki's not telling me here, but I decide to let it go. I'll start reading it real soon.
Good, good. Once you pick it up, I can't promise it will be easy to put down. It is a most captivating narrative.
Oh yeah? What's it about?
Oh, well...
He marks his place in the book with a finger and turns it over to look at the back cover.
Sorry, I didn't want to ruin anything. In any case, it's about a boy who finds himself discontent with his life. So he follows a persuasive stranger to a place called the Holiday House. There, all his more base and childish needs are met. Desserts, presents, the freedom to run and climb and play without the responsibilities of normal life. But just beneath the surface veneer, there are darker forces at work. He finds it wonderful until he doesn't. The beetle and the worm find their way into everything sooner or later. That is a line directly from the book that stuck with me even now, years after I first read it.
Ew.
Not your cup of tea, so to speak?
Huh? Oh no! Dark forces, worms and beetles, I'm all about it!
Good, good.
I forgot he was into the weirder stuff. You can't get 5 words out of him in a group setting, but apparently in his head is a parade of bugs and darker forces. Whatever that means.
In a way, it's rather stark in comparison to Barker's other work. We're talking about the Imaginer responsible for famous images of flaying and infibulation, for gruesome visages patched together from the detritus of man and beast alike, for overt sadomasochistic situations cleaved with religious and spiritual overtones.
Wow. Wait, what's infibulation?
It's... damn. I only mean creative mutilation.
He blushes as he says it, then quickly returns his focus to the book in his hands.
Anyway, it's dark. Because this one is much lighter on that kind of thing. I mean, there's a monster, several of them really, but no one is, well, infibulated.
That's good.
At the same time, similar to a lot of his other works, there's a simple sort of morality to it. From what I've seen, there tends to be a heavy focus on what happens when we do things, or look too deeply into things we ought not to. Likewise, if we fail to truly appreciate what we have, the horror springs from... I'm rambling, aren't I? I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, I'm listening.
Oh, then I guess that's all right. But I'll warn you, I have a tendency to go on when I am deeply invested in something, literature, primarily. It becomes all about my thought process, and I tend to forget other people. So I'm sorry in advance if I say something strange or if I talk too much. Feel free to stop me at any point.
I don't think you have anything to worry about. You're passionate, and that's a good thing. And I like listening to you talk about literature. After all, we are in a literature club.
Well, when you put it that way...
In fact, maybe I'll pick up The Forever Thief now.
It's the thief of... Well, anyway, you don't have to if you don't want to.
What? Weren't you just saying how captivating it was?
Oh, I suppose I was.
Hold on. I'll go get it. I slip into the seat beside him.
Oh,
What's the matter?
well, nothing. It's just that...
Oh. Do you not want me to sit here?
What? No! Oh, hell. Did I just raise my voice? I'm sorry. No, of course you can sit here. I've just never done this before.
Reading? I'm pretty sure you've done that plenty, Yuki.
I meant reading with someone else.
Aw, that's too bad. Well, be sure to let me know if I start distracting you or anything. I'd hate to ruin your reading experience with mine.
Of course.
I open the book and get started on the first chapter. It's easy to get swept in, but I'm grounded by Yuki's presence beside me. It's almost distracting, but not in a bad way. His nearness and shadow cast a bit of warmth somehow, and I get the feeling that if I started to feel lost in the world I was exploring, I could reach to him for something tangible to bring me out of it. I can see him just in the corner of my vision. His book lies abandoned on his desk, his hands clasped on its cover. He's reading from my copy.
I'm sorry. I was only...
Yuki, you apologize too much.
I don't mean to. I'm sorry. Oh.
How about this? Is this better? I line the spine of my book up along a tiny gap between my desk and his so we can both read it.
That does help. Thank you.
We have to lean a little closer to both see the book properly. It feels like my arm is in the way. Turning the page is gonna be weird like this.
Let's try this.
Yuki takes his left arm and holds the left side of the book between thumb and forefinger. I do the same on the right. That way, I turn a page, and Yuki slides it under his thumb after it flips to his side. This solves the problem of seeing and turning pages, but now we're practically cuddled together, except for the fact that my left elbow is pressing, probably pretty uncomfortably, into his ribs, and his right arm is bent awkwardly between my shoulder and his chest. Well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Here, why don't we just...
Oh.
I squirm beneath his right arm, letting it lay across my shoulders. This gives me more room to rest my left hand in my lap. I smile to myself. This is much warmer. A quick glance over my shoulder shows me he's blushing again, but he can deal with it. He said he decided to read with me after all.
Are you ready?
Ready?
To turn the page.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I guess I got a little distracted.
That's quite all right. You take your time. You have been more than patient with me, so waiting is the least I can do.
Thanks. Finish the first chapter and begin the second in silence. By this point, I've come to just assume Yuki will finish a page before me, so I just turn it when I'm done. We don't say a word, but each turn of the page seems intimate somehow. Me flicking it towards him, him catching it and pinning it beneath his thumb. You know? This main character reminds me of you.
That's interesting. Surprising. Why is that?
Well, he's definitely more outspoken than you are, but he doesn't derive much from his surroundings.
What?
Not like in a bad way. I just mean he wants more. He's always searching for more answers, more to excite and occupy him. I obviously can't see inside your head, but I have a feeling you're doing pretty much the same in there while you shut out everything else. He reaches out, you reach in. But I think you share motivations.
You make me sound like an awkward basket case. I should really work on being more like him, shouldn't I? Engaging in the world around me, probing the world around me, instead of just retreating into the void within.
Oh, what? Oh, that's not what I meant at all! Yuki, there's nothing wrong with the way you are. I didn't mean he's better than you. I meant what I said. You remind me of him. It's kind of cute.
You think I'm...
Okay, everyone. Poem time.
Yuki lets go of his half of the book and it closes on my thumb. I can't tell if he's more disappointed our reading time's up or relieved at the interruption of our blossoming conversation. Either way, he's not thrilled.
Are you okay, Yuki?
I'm fine.
You don't look too happy. I'm sorry this has you nervous, but I promise I wouldn't be arranging it if I didn't think it was good for us all. Come on, buck up. You might catch yourself having fun.
You're probably right. It's just scary, that's all.
I'll read some more tonight. It's actually getting interesting. Unless you'd prefer if I only read it with you?
Oh, that's entirely up to you.
Cool. I use an old hall pass to mark my place and put the book in my bag.
So, Kosakura,
Yes?
did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah, I wrote one. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. My inspiration comes entirely from these boys. But it's not like I can just write about them. They'd see it.
Well, time to dig it out. Come on, all of you. Show 'em if you got 'em.
This is so exciting!
Satori and Monoko enthusiastically pull out their poems. Satori's is on a wrinkled sheet of paper I'm pretty sure he tore from a spiral notebook. Conversely, Monoko wrote his in a composition notebook. I can see his pristine handwriting from here, and for the briefest instant, I feel a twinge of jealousy for his pen. Naruki and Yuki follow suit, reaching into their bags. And because I have no choice, out comes mine as well. I guess I should show my poem to Monoko. He seemed really excited to read my poem yesterday, and I want to show him I'm putting in effort. I turn to look for him, and I'm up face to face with him, composition notebook held down by his side.
Hi, Kosakura. Are you enjoying yourself?
He smiles at me, and my cheeks instantly heat up. God, get it together, Kozakura. Huh? Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. And listen, since you're new and probably have a fresh perspective on things, don't hesitate to come to me with ideas for how the literature club could be improved, okay?
I'll keep it in mind. I probably won't. I don't want to make waves, and I'm already working hard to fit in here.
Great. Would you like to share your poem with me?
I'm nervous. It's embarrassing, but what choice do I have?
Don't worry, we're all a little embarrassed today, but it's a hurdle I hope we make it over. Wow, an excellent job! You had me inwardly going, woo.
Oh, no. I had you inwardly making ghost noises?
No, I guess ghosts can sound like that, but I was using it to express wonder. This is a gorgeous piece. A lot of symbolism, a lot of metaphor. I didn't expect you to try something like this for your first time. I guess I underestimated you. I won't be making that mistake again.
I do my best to keep everyone's expectations low, so that they're impressed when I'm even the slightest bit competent at something.
That seems unfair. It's like cheating, but I guess in this case it worked. You know, Yuki's really into this sort of writing. All these layers of language, all this imagery, it's extremely difficult to do effectively. Creating a piece that nebulously tugs at your heartstrings but also allows for deconstruction and examination of all the subtle elements and nuances included. Normally it takes several years of practice, which I guess Yuki would have by now.
I'm sure I'm not there yet.
Hey, don't you worry about that. You should be really proud of what you created here. Just keep doing your thing, and don't be afraid to explore.
That's helpful. I'll definitely experiment. I can't say I'm comfortable with writing yet, but I hope I can get to the point where I am.
Great. Everyone will always have their own biases and preferences, but I'll do what I can to help you find what style fits you the best. So don't force yourself to write a certain way because someone says you should. After all, it's not like you have to impress them or anything. Would you like to read my poem now?
I'd love to.
Hole in wall. It wasn't me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? An adolescent fist thrown beneath the thunder of arguing parents? A vengeful ex with a baseball bat? I'll never know. I wasn't here at the time. I look in to see... No! I've seen too much. Blinded. Like a film reel left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of a meaningless image. It was just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And she, on the outside, was looking in. Well, don't be shy. What do you think?
There's not a lot of structure to it. It's very freeform, I guess. Sorry, I'm not the best person to ask for feedback.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, I guess this is my own method of experimentation. I think the point was more to perform it out loud. These lines, this spacing, more verbal choices than written ones.
What's it about?
Oh, well, I'm not sure if I can get into that just now. I guess you can say I discovered something recently. It's had a profound effect on my writing. Well, on everything, really.
An epiphany.
Epiphany, yes. Good word. Anyway, it's a little too deep to get into just now. Maybe after we're all more comfortable with one another. Here's Monaco's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when writing, you might focus on one specific element. Don't. If it isn't perfect, come back to it later. That's what drafts are for. Think of it. Your pen just idling there while you sweat this one single thing. Odds are, you're not going to get this one single thing perfect, and nothing else progresses either. Then you just end up with a dark puddle of ink on the page. And who wants to read that? Move your hand and move forward. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
This is... Kozakura, this is nothing short of inspiring.
You really think so?
Now you've done it. Ugh.
He begins to shrink into himself, his shoulders hunching as he holds on to my poem. It's like he's expecting me to hit him or something. Yuki, you didn't do anything wrong, you know?
Huh? Oh. Good. Okay. God, why am I suddenly so nervous?
You don't have to be. It's me, remember? We've been reading together the last little bit.
Of course. So, what prior experience do you have in writing? Your craft is admirable, to say the very least.
That's flattering coming from you.
I speak only the truth.
Well, thank you.
I did not expect this.
Expect what?
I came into this thinking perhaps I would offer you some advice for improvement. The reality of it is, I wouldn't presume to critique something that is this level of perfection.
Oh, come on. You've got nothing for me? Nothing at all?
I have my own poem.
That'll have to do, I guess.
I'm sorry. Tears in the night. Abject and utter black seeping, creeping in. Foliage and molasses through a tiny crack in the old wooden barrel sky. The murk devours the feeble last gasps and final pleas of dusk. How in that ebon void might I find you? You are a needle of antidote in the haystack of a roadside ditch. The crash site where did all die the sweetness that came before. My fingers reach and grasp. Alas, all I find is thorns and broken glass.
His handwriting is slanted and elegant. Reading it, I noticed there are certain areas where he must have pressed harder as he wrote. Random words and phrases are just as much etched into the paper as written on it. I feel a chill. Such loss, such impotent hunger and emptiness, such crushing resignation. And wow, Fulligen? What a beautiful word! How in that ebon void might I find you? This is really impressive, you know?
Thank you. You can't know how much it means to hear you say that.
I have to ask, are you sad, Yuki?
Sometimes.
Like, sad enough to have to talk to someone?
Oh, no. I don't think so.
I had to check. I feel this, reading this poem has me aching for you, vigorously.
Vigorously? Vicariously?
Vicariously. Embarrassing! What's it about?
Imagine something that made you really happy in the past. Only it collapsed for one reason or another. A relationship, a certain plan or dream, anything.
Oh, no.
I think each time we sift through the pieces of something that meant a lot to us before, we end up doing more harm than good. That's what I was trying to get across. You mourn for something past, then you claw and claw to salvage what you can, but only end up bleeding everywhere.
I have this image now of searching through wreckage while it rains black.
Fruitless pursuits, neath an uncaring sky, the tears falling for matters a million times removed.
And below even the notice of the moon, submerged in ink as it is this night.
Sobs become screams, entreaties to the yawning above.
And yet fail to receive even an echo in response.
Is there respite to be found in the cool, cruel rain that patters?
Hi, Kozakura.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. Just doing the poem thing. And what's this? Might that be a poem in your hand?
I do say it might be.
Let me see! Hey, this is pretty good. You sure this is your first time?
I think I'd know if I had written poetry before.
It's so good! Lots of big words and wow, also really haunting.
I think inside us all is a wellspring of emotion. This poem marks the first time I really tapped into the darker parts of it. It was like exploring an entire new me, or at least a new dimension of myself. It was disorienting at first, but I'm tentatively proud of what came out of it.
You should be. I like it. Honestly, I was worried you weren't going to do it seriously. Maybe not even do it at all.
No, I said I would, didn't I?
You said you would, and you did. Hey, want to see mine now?
Floating light and easy, in a hazy so soft and gray, I hear you calling to me, a generation of girls, audible syrup so sweet to the ear. And the clock, you tell me it's time to wake. If it weren't for you, I'd sleep forever, and even though I may want to, I can't be mad at you. G, good morning, baby, baby.
Eh?
Did you forget to do this last night? And then just write about Girls' Generation because that's what your alarm clock played?
Maybe? Okay, yes.
Well, it's definitely you.
You're so nice. I'll do another one that's not rushed. You're gonna love it.
I'll hold you to that.
This is so much fun. Monaco's the best.
Let me see. Yeah, okay, wow.
What is it?
Look, if you're not gonna take this club seriously, then why are you even here?
Whoa, what?
I may be short, but I'm not stupid. You expect me to believe you put effort into this word salad?
I'm not a writer. Pretty sure I told you that yesterday.
Clearly not. This just looks like you spilled this week's vocabulary list all over the page.
Hey! Well, look, I did try, okay? Really hard. Where's your first poem ever, huh? How does that look?
That's not the... That's different.
Is it? How's it different? Don't be a jerk.
Well, yeah, okay, fine. I'm sorry. I'm sure you'll be better with time.
Yeah.
I'd give you advice on how to improve, but you're better off scrapping this one and starting fresh. After all, stuff grows out of the dirt, right?
Right. Got it. You hate it.
Guess I gotta show you mine now. Knowing you, you'll hate it. Falcons can hunt. Tigers can roar. Wolfies can leap. Rhinos can gore. Beavers can build. Boars can thrive. People can strive and end up on their faces!
Wow.
I knew you wouldn't like it.
Yeah, well,
You hate it!
I don't hate it. It's okay. I kinda like it. It's, nice and short. Like,
Don't you dare say like me.
I wasn't going to say that.
Then, what were you going to say?
Something else! That was intense. I know everyone's just trying to help, but it really felt like a marathon of people judging my writing ability. All of them are better than me, and I think they know it. But I guess I did it to myself agreeing to join. After all that, it's time to step out into the hall for a drink of water. When I return, I see Satori and Monoko chatting away in one corner. My eyes land on Yuki and Naruki across the room, gingerly exchanging sheets of paper. Their expressions change as they read. Naruki scowls. Yuki rolls his eyes.
What am I even?
Sorry, did you say something?
No, nothing.
Naruki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with a quick little flick of the wrist.
It's, deep, I guess.
Thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you even read it? It's about failure. And it ends with a face plant.
Right, no, I knew that. I mean, just the language, your wording. I'm trying to say something nice.
Yeah? 'Cause you're failing. You're on your face.
Well, I have some ideas for how you can...
Don't care. If I wanted ideas, I'd ask someone who liked it, like Kozakura or Satori. But I got some ideas for you. To start with, try...
Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I've worked really hard on defining what works and doesn't work for me as a writer. I don't expect to change it at any time soon unless I find something inspiring, which I haven't.
Oh, yeah?
And Kozakura liked my poem too. She even said it impressed her.
Naruki is the shorter one of the two, but has no problem getting in Yuki's face. You could not have told me a fight would break out at my first meeting with the freaking literature club.
That's what this is about, isn't it? You're just flexing because Kazakura's here.
What? That's not even what I... Why would you say that?
Yuki squares his shoulders and brings his hands up. I hate everything that's happening right now.
Maybe you're scared because she likes my poem and values my advice more.
How do you even know that? Are you seriously that full of yourself?
Satori edges timidly toward the conflict as it escalates. Monoko stands in place, looking extremely uncomfortable.
You'd know it if I was full of myself. I'd bake cupcakes that look like cats. I'd look and behave like a child and write rhyming couplets about raccoons eating pizza. I'd do everything. Cute.
You did not just say that to me.
Hey, you guys? How about we don't do...
And you know what? I'm not the one who's been pitching a tent since the first day Kazakura got here.
Naruki!
Naruki? Let's
This
just...
doesn't involve you.
Hey, is everyone okay?
Because I was comfortable in the thought that at least things couldn't get any worse, the universe decides to gift me with a fresh development. Both of them turned to stare directly at me as though just remembering I'm standing here.
Kozakura, he's out of his mind. I don't know what he's talking about.
He started it! Tell him you like my poem better.
Kozakura, explain to him there's nothing wrong with...
2 pairs of eyes are burning into me, each demanding something. I want to cry, I want to melt. I want to do something to shift the focus from me. I didn't ask for this, and yet, here we are.
Tell him to get over himself and acknowledge that simple writing is more effective. Who wants to dig for the meaning of a poem when they could just read another one that uses plain and simple language? What even is fulgent?
Wait a minute! There's obviously value in not only all the different expressive words in our language, but also the literary devices like metaphor and symbolism. Avoiding them is severely limiting and wasteful. Please explain this to him, Kozakura.
Well,
Well?
Oh, why in the world are they asking me? I haven't even been here a day. Suddenly I have all the answers? Still, whoever I agree with might look at me differently afterwards. Naruki, you're right. I did like your poem.
Ha!
But that's not an excuse for being mean. You shouldn't start something just because someone disagrees with you.
That's not even it. He treated my poem like a joke. I worked really hard on it.
Yuki, you're extremely talented. I loved what I saw today. The thing is, you can't demean people for more simplistic writing styles. Theirs are just as valid as yours. Naruki put a lot into his poem, and you kind of dismissed it, even if you didn't mean to.
I genuinely did not mean to come off that way, Naruki. I apologize.
Still, Naruki, you took it way too far. If you just told Yuki how you felt...
That's literally what I was doing. I was explaining that...
Okay, Naruki, I think that's enough now. You both said some things that you didn't mean. The difference is, Yuki apologized. You should too.
Naruki clenches his fists. For a second, it looks like he's about to take a swing at Yuki. Before he can, Satori is there, placing a hand on his shoulder.
Hey man, you want to come outside with me? We can take a walk, get some fresh air.
Naruki steps away from Satori's touch and takes his poem from the table.
I can go myself. It keeps me from having to look at any of you anyway.
He strides from the club room, making a point to crumple up his poem and throw it in the trash on his way out.
Aw, Naruki.
He didn't need to do that. It was a very good poem.
I look across the room and spy Yuki sitting at a desk, his face in his hands. I walk over to him and sit.
I'm so ashamed. I can't believe I acted that way.
Hey, you handled it the best you could. He had no right to talk to you the way he did.
You probably hate me now.
Don't be silly. I don't think any less of you.
Good. And that other thing he said, you know, I just wanted you to know it's not true.
What's not true?
About my... Well, never mind. I'm going to go make some tea.
Tea sounds wonderful right now. Make tea for two? With Yuki over by the section of counter that holds his tea set, and Satori scribbling in his spiral notebook, the club is more or less normal again. I go over to Monoko at the large desk in front of the room since he's the only one with his attention not fully focused on something.
So, all in all, it wasn't a bad idea to share poems, was it?
Bad? Monoko, I can't imagine how it would have gone any better.
Alright. You know, that was an excellent point you made with Yuki. Sometimes the things we say can have unintended consequences. Naruki didn't take it well, but he might have had it been phrased differently.
Yeah, I guess it just occurred to me.
It actually got loud in here for a minute. An interesting break from the lazing around we've been getting used to.
So, basically my joining ruined the atmosphere, just like Naruki said yesterday.
Not at all, not at all. Hey, so there's still a little time before we all go home. Outside of normal hanging out, we actually do literature-related stuff in here from time to time. Why don't you pick up a book, or maybe do some more writing? Literature is the most important part of the club, after all.
A few desks down, Satori sets down his pen and smiles over at us.
I disagree, Monaco.
Huh?
The most important part of the club isn't literature. It's having fun.
Of course, of course. The vice president with the wisdom of ages.
That's me.
Monaco's right. I can't really just do nothing now that I'm a part of the club. I take out a piece of paper and start thinking about the inspiration for my next poem. My fellow club members.
Okay, everyone, it's almost time to get out of here. What did we all think of sharing poems? And be honest, I'm not taking shy from any of you after what I saw today.
It was a lot of fun.
It was not what I expected, but it was worth it.
It was okay, I guess. Mostly.
Yeah, I'd say the same. It was pretty special sharing with everyone and being shared with in return.
Great. Then tomorrow, we do it again. Maybe we'll all learn from each other, making our writing that much better.
I did learn a little about the types of poems everyone likes. Maybe with that knowledge and a little luck, I could write something up to get the attention of one of them. Yeah. That sounds like a plan. I nod to myself with newfound determination.
Come on, Kozakura, let's walk home together.
He smiles at me. Hey,
Yeah?
about earlier. Naruki and Yuki? Is that, normal?
It's really not. I don't know what made today so different. They're obviously nothing alike, but I've never seen them get quiet like that before. You don't hate them or anything, do you?
What? No! I just wanted your opinion, that's all.
Okay, yeah. They're just like their preferred writing styles. Equally good, but very different. It's why I like them so much.
I see.
I've really missed this. I'm thrilled that you decided to join my club and that we get to spend more time together. But I think seeing you making friends with everyone makes me the happiest.
Aw, Satori.
And I think everyone really likes you.
My face heats up a little. Sweet and clueless Satori. He still doesn't quite get it. It's great to make new friends, but does it really have to stop there? Well, that was fun. Be sure to check out Day 3 of the Yuki route to follow this to its conclusion, alright? We look forward to seeing you there.